David Rose's Tooth.
Written by K.E. Anson.
Illustrated by Carmen Alfano.
Characters:
John,
Mrs. Sato,
Mrs. Grant,
Joshua,
David,
Clara.
When David Rose's tooth got stuck in the drinking fountain, we all stopped to look. It was cool.
Oh, David, how did you get your tooth stuck in the drinking fountain?
David showed Mrs. Sato his apple. It had a great big bite taken out of it.
I was eating my great big delicious apple and my tooth came out.
Yes, David, but how did your tooth get stuck in the drinking fountain?
I was cleaning my tooth so my friends could see what a great tooth it is, and it slipped out of my hand and got wedged in the drinking fountain.
Mrs. Sato sighed. She looked into the drinking fountain.
I can see that it's a great tooth. I can see that your friends would think it's a great tooth. I'll try get it out for you, David.
She tried to get it out with her fingers.
She tried and tried and tried, but the tooth would not come out of the drinking fountain.
This isn't working. I need help.
Just then, Mrs. Grant came along.
David Rosa knew that Mrs. Grant was very wise.
Mrs. Grant, my tooth is wedged in the drinking fountain. I was cleaning it so my friends could see what a great tooth it is, and it just slipped out of my hand.
Mrs. Grant looked into the drinking fountain. She could see that it was a great tooth.
I can see why your friends would think that's a great tooth. I'll try get it out for you, David.
Mrs. Grant searched around in her amazing pockets.
Here's some tape. That won't work, but here's a needle.
That won't work.
You're right, a needle won't work, but here's a toy crocodile.
That definitely won't work.
Here are 5 books. They won't help us get your tooth out, but here's a firefighter helmet.
That won't work.
Here's a computer. That won't work, but here's some string.
That's it!
Mrs. Grant tried to get the tooth out with the string.
She tried and tried and tried, but she could not get the tooth out of the drinking fountain.
This isn't working. I need help. Oh, good. Here's Clara.
Clara is very good at fixing things.
My tooth is wedged in the drinking fountain. I was cleaning it so my friends could see what a great tooth it is, and it slipped out of my hand.
Look into the drinking fountain, Clara. You will see that it's a great tooth.
Yes, I can see that's a great tooth, a perfectly splendid tooth, and I can see why your friends would think it's a great tooth, why anyone with eyes would immediately understand the importance of this tooth of yours. I'll do my best to get it out for you, David.
She searched around in her amazing toolbox.
She pulled out a hammer.
That won't work. Of course it won't work. It is obviously the wrong tool for the job. However, here's a nail, a handy trusty nail.
That won't work.
She pulled out a broom.
That won't work. It obviously won't work. It is definitely the wrong tool for the job. This fish food, on the other hand,
That won't work.
of course it won't work. It clearly won't work. It is certainly the most wrong of these wrong tools I've found. Nor were these 5 rubbish bins. They won't work. But here's some wire.
That's it!
Clara tried to get the tooth out with the wire. She tried and tried and tried.
Look at that tooth.
It was flying very high.
It was flying so high, it's nearly in the clouds.
David Rosa leaned his head back so he could see how high his tooth was flying.
Excellent. That tooth is absolutely soaring. David shouted at precisely the moment that the high-flying tooth arced back down.
When David Rosa swallowed his tooth, we all stopped to watch. He was right.
It
really was a great tooth.
People in the play.
Joshua, read by Chloe.
Mrs. Sato, read by Annalise.
John, read by Paul.
Clara, read by Olivia.
David, read by Fua.
Mrs. Grant, read by Hunter.
Music composed by Ashley.